Mother of 5, lover of birds, powers ambiguous, sister of Midas. When Midas's touch was of gold, Kitty's was of shit. Trick or tool. Some say a cruel, untamable tool, like a friend who doesn't know when it's time to leave. You see, everything Kitty, touches turns to dust. It implodes and within seconds it's gone. Skeletal. A shameful, hollow version of itself. I know what you're thinking. It's all about perspective, about attitude, about being dour and cheerless, someone who should just cheer the fuck up and walk towards the light. But I would argue that my attitude is part of my appeal. So I take your empty optimism and I roll it into a ball. And to placate you, to put your mind at ease, I'll caress it at my bosom like my firstborn. I'll devour it like warm chocolate syrup slipping down into my belly. It feels good. It feels great. I'm Tom fucking Cruise hopping around like my ass is on fire. I can do it. Anything. Everything. I will do everything normal, monotonous and mundane with a broad smile and lovely straight white teeth. One day, I'll open my mouth to smile and there it will be. Rejected. Ejected past those straight white teeth and onto the floor. A ball of lightness beaten into submission by a body too used to the dark. It'll try and remain alive and well and sure of itself, that it can remain alive and well and sure of itself. But eventually the bright light will turn dull. It'll curl into the fetal position and sleep the long sleep. I had kittens, a litter of 5 little things, sweet and warm and soft and tiny, with tiny mouths and tiny claws and tiny teeth. They needed me, loved me, slept with me, fed from me. And as they grew, they needed me a little less. But they still looked up at me with those eyes, those needy eyes, eyes of adoration and love. I was the best mama cat you could imagine. Until I wasn't. Until I screamed and pulled their tails for being little shits, badgies. But like all good mamas, it took exactly 7 minutes and we're all huddled and cuddled together in a warm box, purring. Did you know that only small cats, not big cats like lions that will rip off your head and lick his lips while considering where to digest your head, but small cats can purr continuously on inhalation and exhalation. A motor of overwhelming contentedness whirring inside their ribs. One by one, my kittens outgrew their bodies and adult cats emerged with adult cat urges, crazy for mates. They too left, leaving nothing else but a clump of dust, a fur ball and fleas. I fucking hate fleas. Gone. All gone. No kitties, no kitty mama, no babies, no mum. Maybe mama needs a tom. Another interesting fact, did you know that a tom's penis is barbed to both stimulate ovulation in its mate and to stop her escaping mid-coitus? Nasty, nasty. Call me postmodern, call me anti-establishment, or just call me a gal that likes a little bit of sweet talk. Toms don't sweet talk. I had an affair with a pigeon once. What I hadn't realised about the rats of the sky is that beyond their garbled wobble and beneath their dull grey feathers is a gorgeous flash of violet silver. Pigeon had a ring of purple feathers that hung around his neck like a set of Tahitian deep-sea pearls. So pretty. He was kind and lovely and ever so smart. Like all pigeons, he could navigate using landmarks just like humans, but he could also recite the Encyclopedia Britannica from back to front and in reverse. He pecked around in the gutter and had the occasional flea, but don't we all? He was an attentive lover. You'd be surprised at how useful a bit can be during lovemaking. And those delicate wings are surprisingly strong. I could have chewed his head off in a heartbeat, but I realised that lovemaking is a jumble of needs, expectations, vulnerability, contradictions, and bodily fluid. and that while lovemaking, as it can hardly be called mating when it's between avian and feline, is all in the mind. It's best to just surrender. I would also eat a good meal 20 minutes prior. I have to admit that pigeons jutting head, you know, that thing they do as they walk, well, it's not just confined to walking. I found it quite distracting to see him, his eyes glazed over in the throes of our lust, with his head jutting backward and forward like a chicken pecking at seeds. Maybe a giggle at a time when a lover should not. It turned him off his game, turned him off me. You see, the head thing is not a quirk or an idiosyncrasy. It's as much a part of the pigeon as purring is part of the cat. And poof, off he went. Pile of feathers and dust. I tethered together his feathers and hung it on my window for a breeze to caress. At least pigeon still flies. Sort of. A cat has 9 lives. I have 3 left. It makes us more fortunate than others who have but 1, but to be honest, it can make a cat somewhat reckless. I drank a couple away, once it off the side of a tall ship. I lost one at a fete. Cats should drive dodgers. One drowned in a glass of lysergic acid, which was actually rather pretty. I intentionally threw one into an active volcano once. It was a very bad day. Never underestimate your worth or how much your kittens need you or the temperature of bubbly hot lava. I evaporated. Didn't have time to turn into dust. How ironic. And so the sun still rises. But one morning, the sunrise somehow felt different. Something was pushing through its haze towards me. It shot through my window and landed on my toes like a shiny ball of wool. My God. I wanted to unravel the fucker and fling it across the room, but I refrained, and after looking at it once, then twice, I realised it was another goddamn ball of optimism. I asked if it was lost. Had it missed a turn? It didn't seem to talk. One of my kittens came back. I don't know if it was before or after the ball, but I don't suppose it matters. We 3 live together. Sometimes Ball has to stay in the cupboard because I find him far too much to bear, but mostly it's us 3 together. Contented cheerfulness, soft fur and purrs, a gentle motor keeping us warm and connected and focused and far from the wrath of active volcanoes.
No.